Ready?
Whenever you want, sir.
Okay. Everybody ready over here? Israel, ready? You okay? Joanne? I know. She's okay. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. This is June 25th board meeting for Cone Joint Unified School District. And at this time, I'd like to go ahead and call to order. And with that, if I could have Joanne please read the roll call, please.
Mrs. Haro? Here. Ms. Doreen Ojeda? Mr. Fuentes?
Present.
Mr. Ibarra?
Present. Thank you very much. And let's just take note that Dan Flores, Bertha Flores, and Bernice Sandoval are not present at this time. Thank you. Okay, with that, I'd like to announce that we do have an interpreter, Miss Cynthia Bueno, who's available to speak to anyone needing assistance. Welcome.
Barra? Oh, there it is. Thank you. Thank you. Muy buenas noches, yo soy Cintia Bueno, soy recepcionista y traductora del distrito. Estaremos ofreciendo servicios de intérprete. Si alguien desea escuchar la reunión completamente en español, puede encontrarme en la mesa trasera. Muchísimas gracias.
Thank you very much. And with this, I'd like to see if I could ask our Director of Communications, Katie Orloff, to lead us in the flag salute, and if everyone could please rise.
Place your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America,
to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Katie. Okay, let's go ahead and move right into item 1.3, adoption of June 25th, 2024 agenda. There are no amendments to the agenda, so at this time, I'll entertain a motion for approval, please.
I'll move.
Okay, thank you, Israel, and thank you, Pat. So I have a motion by Israel Fuentes, second by Pat Haro, to adopt the agenda as recommended. All those in favor indicate by stating aye. Aye. Anyone oppose? Anyone abstain? On a motion by Board Member Israel Fuentes and second by Board Member Pat Haro, and on a 4-0 vote, the board adopted the agenda as recommended. Thank you very much. At this time, we'll move right into public comment. And by board bylaws, 9323 states that an individual speaker shall be allowed 3 minutes to address the board on each agenda or non-agenda item. The board shall limit the total time for public input on each item to 15 minutes. With board consent, the president may increase or decrease the time allowed for public presentation. Depending on the topic and the number of persons wishing to be heard, the president may take a poll of speakers for or against a particular issue and may be asked that the additional person speak only if they have something new to add. So we'll take them in order. The first one is Mr. Neil Weiner. Welcome.
Board Chair Ibarra, Trustees, Superintendent Miranda. My name is Neil Wayner. I live on Golden West Drive in Redlands. I will not need 3 minutes. Colton Joint Unified is one of 6 stops I'm making in the next few weeks just to say hello. I was in your position once upon a time. I spent 13 years on the school board in Redlands from 2003 to 2016, and during that time, 8 of those years, my father was on the county school board with Herb Fisher and Gary Thomas. And the reason I'm going to these districts is to announce that I am running for my father's old seat on the county school board this coming fall. My website is active, neilwayner.com. Many of you have already endorsed me, which I sincerely appreciate. I look forward to working with you because I know this is your district, and I'm here to support you, and the county's here to support you, not the other way around. And so I hope you feel comfortable reaching out to me at any time with any kind of question. I actually came out last week, and when I pulled in the parking lot and saw 3 cars, I knew something was wrong.
Thank you, Mr. Wayner. And our second card is Ms. Lisa Villa.
How long have you been on, question mark? You want me to start, question mark?
Thank you so much. Welcome to me. My name is Lisa Villa, and I reside in Colton. I hope everyone is enjoying their summer break. I haven't been able to enjoy my summer break because of the thought of myself being transferred to a school in Bloomington makes no sense. Worse that you put me right back in the line of fire. Last summer, I was put on administrative leave for saving seats for my son's graduation. You're that cold that you would allow that you would go that far to try and ruin a parent's graduation when you yourself get to enjoy all the perks of your position, to enjoy your children and your family and your friends. But I couldn't save seats like everyone else does for my own son's graduation. I'm not just gonna get over it. This is just one of the hundreds of facts I have. I have chosen to work somewhere else this summer because I mysteriously cannot land a summer job within the security department. I've been doing this job for over 30 years. No complaints from anyone other than the security managers. All they did was harass and bully, because that's what the leaders are allowed to do in this district. You realize that I'm not going anywhere, right? Even if you transfer me all the way to Bloomington, I'll still be right here in Colton. And at the end of the day, when my community realizes that you took me out of Colton, they will see what happens when you speak up. You try to get rid of those people that speak up. That's all you really showed my community. This past spring, when I decided to move forward with some complaints, I formally filed complaints to move forward to start documenting. I'd like to know why those people weren't put on administrative leave while you investigated, like I was put on administrative leave while you investigated the saving seats of my son's graduation. I'm sorry I wrote this last minute. I worked all day. Because when you see something and you say something in this district, it goes nowhere. Like, there's not even a number to call. You have no, there's no one I can directly come to, even coming here publicly speaking, saying it to you, talking to you, crying. It means nothing, it goes nowhere. So things need to change. We need people that care. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Villa. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at our action items. Items 3.1 through 3.16. So first of all, I'll ask if there's any items that any of you would like to consider separate. If not, we need to pull items 3.3 and 3.5 for separate considerations. So right now, I'll ask for a motion to approve action items 3.1 through 3.16, with the exceptions of 3.3 and 3.5.
I'll move that.
Okay. I have a motion by Mr. Israel Fuentes. What do we got here?
gotta go 3-3 and then 3-5 first? So they're gonna vote on 3-1 to,
No, we don't do it that way.
yeah.
Okay.
They're gonna be pulled separately, though. They're already being pulled separately.
Is that what you received from the county? That?
No, I said that the LCAP has to be approved first, followed by the budget as an action item.
Okay, so the way I read it is 3.3 is the LCAP and 3.5 is the budget. So there we're voting on those separately.
But we can take back the.
Sure. If you want, okay, I'm okay either way, yeah.
Take it back and do it. Just
Okay, so what we'll do is, if you're okay, Israel, to
No problem,
pull,
I'll take that.
and we didn't get a second at that point, because.
Okay, yeah, so,
So we'll pull that out. Okay, so we'll go ahead and take a look at, we'll go ahead and take a look at 3.3, which is the adoption of the Cone Joint Unified School District's proposed 2024-2025 Local Control and Accountability Plan, the LCAP. And I'll look for a motion for approval.
I'll move that.
Okay, thank you. Okay, before we move on, is there any questions, comments, concerns that we need to address? Not hearing any? Okay, let's go ahead and go for the vote. All those in favor of the LCAP presented as planned, indicate by stating aye.
Aye.
Anyone oppose? Anyone abstain? Okay, so we do have a 4-0. So on a motion by Board Member Israel Fuentes and second by Pat Harrow, and a 4-0 vote with Mr. Dan Flores, Mrs. Bertha Flores, and Ms. Bernice Sandoval absent. The board approve action items 3.3, Cone Joint Unified School District's proposed 2024-2025 local control and accountability plan, which is the LCAP. Okay. Okay, John? Good. Okay, so now let's take a look at 3.5, which is the adoption of the district's 2024-25 proposed budget and amounts above that minimum recommended reserves. So at this time, I'll entertain a motion for approval on action items 3.5.
I'll move that.
Thank you, Israel, and thank you, Pat. So I do have a motion by Israel Fuentes and second by Board Member Pat Harrow to approve action items 3.5. Any questions, comments, concerns? Okay. Call for the vote. All those in favor indicate by stating aye.
Aye.
Anyone oppose? Anyone abstain? We have 4-0 vote. On a motion by Board Member Israel Fuentes and second by Board Member Pat Harrow and carried on a 4-0 vote with members Dan Flores, Bertha Flores, and Bernice Sandoval absent. The board approved action items 3.5, the 2024-25 proposed budget and amount above the minimum recommended reserves. Okay, so we'll go right back. So we're taking a look now at 3.1 through 3.16, with the exception of 3.3 and 3.5. And I'll entertain a motion for approval there, please.
I'll motion.
Okay, thank you. So on a motion by Israel Fuentes and second by Board Member Pat Harrow, and approved to approve action items 3.1 through 3.16, with the exception of 3.3 and 3.5. Let's call for the vote. All those in favor indicate by stating aye.
Aye.
Anyone oppose? Anyone abstain? Okay. 4-0. On a motion by Israel Fuentes and a second by Board Member Pat Harrow, and carried on a 4-0 vote with members Dan Flores, Bertha Flores, and Bernice Sandoval absent. The board approved action items 3.1 through 3.16, with the exceptions of 3.3 and 3.5. All right. Thank you, everybody. We're going to move right into administrative reports. And any questions, comments from any of the board members at this time? No? Joanne, good? All good. Anything you need to add, Mr. Superintendent?
No, I think we're good.
All
Thank you.
right, all right, thank you very much. Does indicate that item 4.1, the local control and accountability plan, the LCAP local indicators. And that's the question we were asking. Now, if there's no other additional comments,
I just want to thank, well, if
Sure.
I can make a quick
Sure.
comment and not to prolong this, but I do want to thank the board for your flexibility, your leadership. And I also want to thank Dr. Peterson and her team for leading the LCAP this year. It was a process, 3-year process, difficult process, a lot of changes. Her amazing team, and of course the budget. Thank you to Mr. Fromm and his team for developing the budget. A lot of changes this year when it came to the governor, a lot of ups and downs. They were able to get it done, and more changes to come, but thank you to the both of you and to the board again for your flexibility to be here this evening to approve these two very important documents. So thank you again for that.
you're more than welcome, Superintendent. And I also want to take this opportunity to thank the members of the Board of Education who made the effort and to be here today. And, but of course, we know that there's circumstances for the others that aren't here as well. So we typically get, during summer, these days where people tend to start taking vacations, people make plans, and sometimes those things happen as far as having to reschedule things. So appreciate everybody's effort at that. And once again, to our staff for the LCAP and the budget, you know, great job. And we look forward to moving to next school year and continue to work on our progression for our students in the district. So thank you very much. With that, it is 5:18, and I hereby adjourn.